Hello, I'm Kerry Farr. 2,600 years ago, the prophet Zechariah told about a coming king, the Messiah that would ride into Jerusalem. Now, what's interesting is that in biblical days, whenever a king took control of a land, he usually rode in a big, powerful horse, often on a white horse. But Zechariah said that this king, this Messiah, this lamb would come in a lowly position. He said, "Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, your king is coming to you." This is in Zechariah 9, verses 9. "Behold, your king is coming to you. He is just and having salvation, lowly and riding on a donkey, a colt, the foal of a donkey." When Jesus rode into Jerusalem on that first Palm Sunday, he rode in on a colt that had never been ridden on before. The people of Israel there in Jerusalem thought that he was coming as a conquering king, and they were rejoicing. So many people from Jerusalem ran out into the area where Jesus was coming into the city, riding on his colt. And they were waving palm branches at him. They were shouting and rejoicing and saying, "Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord." But less than a week later, the people of Israel would see that he wasn't coming as a conquering king to take control of Israel, but he was coming as a lamb. And so they rejected him, even saying towards the middle of that week, "Crucify him." And so Pontius Pilate, at the urging of the Jews, crucified Jesus Christ. The soldiers laid a cross down on the ground, and they took Jesus, who had been bound, and lay him on that cross and drove nails in his hands and in his feet. And then they put that cruel cross in a hole to hold him upright. And he lay on that cross for several hours until he died. But my friend, he willingly went to the cross, and he willingly gave his life. After he died that day, he was put in a tomb owned by Joseph of Arimathea. And the Pharisees and the Sadducees, the chief rulers of the Jews, were afraid that his people, his disciples, would come and steal his body away from the tomb. So they went to Pontius Pilate, who had convicted Jesus and sentenced him to die on that cross. And they said, "We want a group of Roman soldiers to seal and guard this tomb." And Pilate said, "You shall have your guard. Go your way." And so they sent about 30 Roman soldiers who rolled a stone about 2 tons in weight in front of the tomb. They sealed it with the Roman seal, and they put soldiers, Roman soldiers, there to guard the grave of Jesus so that no one would bother it. They had guards there day and night for 3 days. But early on that first resurrection morning, before dawn, as Mary was headed towards the tomb, the earth began to shake, and the soldiers were scared because a great earthquake happened. And then, almost instantaneously, an angel who was as bright as lightning, headed towards the tomb and rolled the stone away. And when the angel went inside that tomb, the tomb was empty. By the time that Mary got there, the tomb was empty, and the grave clothes that had been on Jesus were neatly folded inside of that tomb. Jesus Christ died, was buried, and rose again the third day to prove that he was the Son of God, and that he could be victorious over death. My friend, if he was able to resurrect himself, it proves that he is able to resurrect us. And I would invite you today to give your life, your heart, your soul to Jesus Christ, because he died, was buried, and rose again to save you and me from our sins. And that is the joy of the resurrection of Christ, and why we celebrate the resurrection of Christ and call it Easter Sunday here and around the world. What were your thoughts on that?